Hey, my name is Rick Gazarian. I'm from Boston. I've been to 152 countries. I also have a podcast, Counting Countries. I've interviewed the top 100 travelers in the world. It's people who have been to every country or they're in the process of completing that goal.
What have you learned from doing podcasts with all these top travelers?
Yeah, I mean, Gus, at some level, it's the ultimate networking tool, right? I get to introduce myself to some of the top travel people in the community. These are long format interviews, so it's 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. Maybe I could break it down into 2 categories. I get tons of practical advice, how to get a visa, what to see in these countries. I think there's a couple lessons that we can take away from travel. What really matters, it's all relative, it's perception. You need to have an open mind when you're visiting these different peoples, these different cultures. When you're in more of a less developed country, say to yourself, what really matters in life? Why am I complaining about this? The woman you pass on the street has been walking 6 kilometers with 5 gallons of water on her head, and you're in the hotel complaining that the hot water in the shower isn't that hot. So these are the lessons that you can learn every day, be reminded, appreciate your station in life. And really, it's not an exaggeration how lucky you are to go to these amazing countries around the world and learn and see something amazing every single day.
You are known as being like the traveler's godfather of podcasting. Could you highlight like 2 or 3 people?
Yeah. It is difficult to do. I'll pick 3 people. Tony Giles, a British man, completely blind, mostly deaf, just an incredible attitude of just being optimistic, positive. He's been to over 130 countries. Another cool person, a woman, Joss Stone. She's actually famous, not for travel. She is a Grammy award-winning singer. She did this incredible project. She traveled to every country in the world, did a musical performance. She only missed 1 country, Iran. Her last country she flew to, she was detained and then deported. So she's been to 193 countries, only performed in 192.
Well, we got to Iran, we got detained, and then we got deported.
Did you have any travelers who had really bad circumstances, who has went through a lot of challenges on the way, where you were like, this guy or this girl is so inspiring?
Yeah, well, we mentioned Tony Giles, the blind traveler. Another
amazing guy.
He really is. Besides Tony, Anthony Williams, he's from the UK. Anthony is in a wheelchair. He can't walk.
Wow.
So again, 40 countries now takes on a different meaning, that you have to go through all these other speed bumps and obstacles and challenges. One story he told me, broke my heart. He was in Cambodia, which can be kind of rural and not as well developed. He was out of the big city. He was in a smaller village. He had to use the restroom, and of course there's no ramp. He had to, in essence, crawl off the ramp and kind of crawl into the bathroom. And basically, this is sort of an understatement. It wasn't very hygienic. It was
no.
very, very
dirty floor.
A lot more than that.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking to him. It broke my heart. But again, I'm looking at myself. I would have said, that's the end of my travel. I'm going to my basement. There's a lot of great stuff on Netflix. This
just
guy,
kept on going.
He kept on going. He's like, you know what? I want to see the world. I'm not going to let this stop me. It's too much to see and do.
What a guy.
He's awesome.
What is your goal?
Yeah, goal number 1 is chasing 193, meaning going to every country in the world. Countries which sort of aren't countries, people love to debate. Anything from Pitcairn Island, small island in the Pacific, only 50 people live there. Obviously, there's no airport. You got to take a ship for 4 days. These are the descendants from the HMS Bounty. So a ship, I think it's 18th century, that mutinied, killed the captain, and these Brits, the descendants, have been there for a couple hundred years. It's insane. So to have the opportunity to spend a couple of days on this island and meet these people, it's truly unique.
talking to all these great travelers, what is your message to the world?
Yeah, I mean, there are some takeaways. Gus, it's about pursuing your goals. And that's, that might be chasing 193, but obviously you can apply that to anything in life. And don't make up excuses. So we can look at Tony Giles, who we spoke about, who's blind before.
Super inspiring.
Super inspiring. Goes couch surfing by himself in Burkina Faso.
Dude, he's insane.
Takes local bus for 10 hours in Pakistan. We spoke about Anthony Williams, who's in a wheelchair. And again, he's discovering and seeing the world. So make a goal, whether it's travel or anything in life, and don't make up excuses. Just simply one foot in front of the other and make it happen. Grit. Have some grit.
Exactly. I always get that message. I cannot travel. I don't have the money. And then you meet a guy like Tony and you're like, that's a way.
110%.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rick. It was a pleasure to meet the greatest podcaster of the traveling community, in my humble opinion. So, Rick, what is the name of your podcast?
The podcast is Counting Countries.
Yeah, definitely go and check it out. Really enjoyed the episode with my friend Babs, who has also been here with us in Armenia, and it's been a huge pleasure for us. So, muchas gracias.
Gus, thank you. Shutchen Regalson.
Thank you. See you guys.